Okay, the band started in 2004, is that it? And
yeah.
you released the first EP in 2009. Why did you take that long to have a record out, especially nowadays when people have record in 2 days?
So?
We didn't think like normal bands, I guess. I mean, there's like a whole huge story about it, you know, but the shortened abridged version is basically that we had a lot of lineup changes. So we had a lot of changes to our songs, and we were never really, when we started playing, we weren't ready to play shows and ready to record. We just were like ready to learn to play music together, and we took our time doing that for a while, and then had a lot of changes. When Shannon, who was our original drummer, left the band, she rejoined the band, and we finally like had, you know, those songs together after all of that time. And our friend basically gave us like a push. He said, you know, I have a studio, I have nothing going on, I can even get you a little bit of money to, you know, be able to record here for a few months. And he really made it happen for us. And it might have even taken longer had that not have happened. Did you mean the EP or the record?
The EP.
Okay.
And do you think, like, thinking about it, nowadays every band, I mean, it seems like a band, when somebody start a band, they have a MySpace page, a Flickr page, a fan page on Facebook, whatever it is, before they even think the band through, you know, it's record so fast, and it feels like, in a way it's nice, because you're listening, you can follow a band evolving, you see it from the very beginning becoming something, which is nice, you should have the patience to do that. But in a way, it seems like everything's too rushed.
Yeah.
Do you get this feeling? Is that something? Because your sound is like mellow. It seems like it takes time to build up the songs, writing and even playing. It has something to do. How do you feel about all this rush nowadays?
It's lucky for, you know, if you're a good businessman, it's like a great day and age to be an artist, I think, because there's so many ways to get yourself out there before people even know who you are, like you're saying, or before you even know who you are as like a musician or whatever. You've got the look and like the setup and the website and all the social networking. I think that, you know, for some people it works, and probably for a lot of people it hinders them having longevity, because they're not really building something from a foundation that's based on like the music. It's more like an outside-in way of building, you know, where they just take the image and then try to create something from that image, instead of just finding out who you are and then just naturally having your image.
And what's your general perception of this? Does it make it for worse bands maybe, or too many bands, or I don't know?
I just feel like there's always going to be something wrong with the way some people are doing it, and there's always going to be something right with the way that some people are. And with each generation, what that means kind of changes. Like right now, it just means that, like, yeah, you could put yourself in front of a lot of people really quickly and be something maybe for a minute or to a small amount of people, and or you could be still, like, I guess it always comes down to just like being able to remain true to yourself, and also being like somebody who really, really appreciates music, and that's why you're doing it. It's like, if you are truly someone who loves to listen to music and really feels that and really dissects what you hear and really like wants to live that, and also wants to add to all the greatness that you've heard before, then that will always stand out. And if you're not that, then that will be not that. And that's what it comes down to. It doesn't matter what is happening in this generation, that, like, you know, right now it's that you can do things so easily, and you could just be like a flash in the pan, or you could like record yourself and put yourself on MySpace, whatever the fuck. Like, it's like, it just comes down to being really authentic and really caring. That's what it comes down to.
But in a way, that this fastness, or I don't know what to call it, it caught up with you guys as well. Because I mean, then once you had the record out and things started happening quite fast, didn't it? Then you're playing all festivals, and Was it surprising?
I think that had more to do with the fact that we finally had a label, and we finally had people like had PR people, and we had people pushing to like release our record, and it didn't have anything really to do with the internet. The cool thing about the internet was the fact that we had existed for so long and put out like a couple things on our MySpace and actually built a bit of a fan base, mostly in Europe. And that's an amazing, brilliant thing for a band like us who's just like not trying to put ourselves out there in like some like in-your-face kind of way. We're like, oh hey, this is our band, and we made some of these home recordings. Like, listen to this, and we actually got a fan base because of the internet, which is phenomenal.
That's how we got a label, and because of that fan base.
That's right, right?
Like, yeah, MySpace, our MySpace, and the people who really. Our fans from Europe were such diehard fans that, you know, when we self-released our EP at Amoeba in Los Angeles, which is just where we were working from, you know, there were so many special orders from Europe that it made us #1 on like the local sales charts in our hometown because of sales in Europe. So like there's a core group of people who from the very beginning they found our MySpace and were really supportive and very much like boosted us to the level of getting noticed by Rough Trade.
Yeah, like technology can work against you or for you. You know, right now it's really cool because we can all, like, if you have the mind and the ability to do it, like, you could produce yourself the way that you could have only done it by going to a studio, like, I don't know, however many years ago, 30 years ago. And you can do that now. You can make your own album if you want. It doesn't mean that it's any easier, though. Like, you definitely have to have an ear, and you have to have knowledge, and you have to spend some time with it, even to do it on your own, on the computer. So even though it's easier because there's, like, everything's in front of you, and you don't have to buy, like, big pieces of, like, reverb, machinery, or whatever, that makes it easier. It's all right there. But you still have to have an ear, and you still have to spend time with it. You still have to, like, refine your skill, you know?
I think you're a big pop star and you don't really have to have any of those things.
Just hire a beat producer.
Yeah, just put some auto-tune on it.
Yeah.